JR, I guess the season's here. It's been a fairly big, busy build-up. How are you feeling personally, and what are your expectations?
Yeah, look, pre-season's been good for us, the US trip and then the Blitz on the Gold Coast, but it's the pre-season now. We move forward to the part of the season where we really get critiqued, so I think we've prepared well and hopefully we come out and have a good showing tomorrow night.
Can we expect many minutes from Christian, or is he going to be sort of managed? What condition is he in after arriving? He only arrived yesterday.
Yeah, we'll have to see how the flow and the momentum of the game is going. Obviously, we've brought him into play, so he's not going to sit for too long. But today and tomorrow at shoot-around, we'll get to see where he really is physically. Now, he's done a pre-season in France, so it's not as if he's got a low baseline.
Any injury worries? Bryce is good to go with his knee, and I think Jesse had concussion. Is he all right to go as well?
Yeah, we're going to have a full slate of players to choose from tomorrow. So both those guys that you mentioned, they practice fully this week.
What is your expectation for Sarr? Obviously, there's been a lot talked about him. Jordan was saying he's had a million media requests to talk to him and about him. What do you expect from him, and how do you help him manage that scrutiny he's going to be under with recruiters watching and NBA clubs watching his every move?
First and foremost, he is here to help the Perth Wildcats. If he helps the Perth Wildcats achieve what we're striving for, his own aspirations will take care of himself. He's done a great job initially of handling that and playing at a high level. The reason he's getting to play is he's playing at a high level. That's the reason anyone gets to play. So if that starts to differ, then we'll probably have to have a conversation. But as far as an 18-year-old's concerned, he's very mature in his approach, and he's handled it very well to date.
The combination between Cosme and Kinder, how have you seen that sort of progress over the pre-season, and how excited are you to see that sort of gel together on the offensive end?
Yeah, it's a nice dynamic to be able to put out on the floor with a front line with the length and athleticism, not privy to every team. So it allows us to have a little different look on the floor. Usher brings great positional size, so all of a sudden we look a little differently at the defensive end with those guys out there.
Yeah, and you mentioned Usher on the defensive end. He and Sarr seem to have a lot of versatility. Can you picture those blokes sort of leading the defensive unit out of the perimeter this season?
Basketball's a team game, so do they have a great presence at the defensive end? Absolutely, but it takes 5 guys for our team to be an elite defensive team. So like at the other end, you need 5 guys in harmony at the offensive end, the same things defensively, but they can certainly anchor it and take some ownership.
And getting the season underway tomorrow night here at home, how much of an emphasis are you putting on trying to get off to a good start at home, trying to create a bit of a fortress here at RAC?
Oh, like a home opener, really, it's amazing how the first game can shape the way you approach the rest of the season. So to come out, play the way we have in the preseason, and then come out on the right end of the scoreboard, it would be a great way because we hit the road for Sunday as well.
And the Jack Jumpers, what did you sort of see from them over the pre-season? Some of the threats that you'll have to keep an eye out for tomorrow night?
Yeah, look, Scott Roth and his roster management, the style of play and the type of player he recruits doesn't change, but they've retained Milton Doyle and Jack McVeigh, who are potent scorers. So they brought in a water bug point guard in Jordan Crawford. So they're the same. So if you don't respect what they're about and you don't match their physicality and their enthusiasm with the way they play, it becomes a long night. So there's no reason we shouldn't come out prepared and ready to go.
You talk about roster management. You guys have got a fair few new faces. How's the team gelled, and how have all those new faces sort of fit together?
Yeah, we hit the road for 3 weeks, so obviously a huge basketball component to that. But then, we did a number of team building and activities that you do when you're on the road for that long. So it's progressed better than I thought it would. Guys really like each other's personalities. We have great diversity within our group, so everyone's kept on their toes.
And you and the Jack Jumpers unbeaten in the Blitz. Do you carry that momentum into the season, or do you put that to one side and the season starts tomorrow?
Personally, I think it's better to be 3-0 than 0-3. So we have good momentum, but in saying that, they perform well themselves. So for a home opener, it's going to be a great contest.
And more holistically across the NBL with the next gen program, and obviously you guys have got SAR, but there is some very talented next gen players. Do you look across the league and think this is probably at its most competitive that it's ever been in terms of talent straight across?
Not disrespecting anyone, but the depth and the level that the league's at isn't generated by the next gen. There are some very good players that we don't talk about for whatever reason because we get fixated on that stuff. So I think it's being disrespectful to the players that are in the league and have performed at a high level for a long time. The next gen has been created because of the level of the league.
Okay, on that point then, is this the strongest the league has ever been across the board?
That's a great question, and that's for commentators, not coaches, to discuss. My job is to make sure we're playing at the best level, no matter what level the league's at. But it's in great shape.
And just in terms of the overall season, looking back at last year and sort of sneaking into the playoffs, how important is it to try and sort of get off to that winning start and try and establish yourself higher up the ladder early on?
Yeah, the season opener, I just mentioned about the momentum that you gain from your first game. So for us to come out strong, obviously we've been criticised heavily for rebounding and defence. So if we can start to chip away at perception and make it a reality, that'll be great.
Thank you very much.
No worries. Yeah, cheers.